What's good, fam? Welcome to another video. It's your boy Ted Talks Bass. If you haven't done so already, go on and hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you never miss a groove. Today, I want to talk about Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye. Check it out. What's good? Before we get started, I wanted to address something. One of my homies back in the Bay was saying to me, he was like, "Man, you've been noticeably absent from YouTube over the last few months, and has anybody asked?" A couple of people have asked, and so let me tell you what's kind of going on. I'd made a video before I left California. A lot of people know I'm from New Orleans. I lived in California for a very, very long time. I moved to California in my early 20s, mid-20s. And, although I came back to New Orleans for many years to visit, my family is here in New Orleans and all that good stuff. A lot of life circumstances kind of forced, if you will, me to move back to New Orleans. So that's where I am. I could be transparent about this. My mother is not well. So, and I'm an only child. So this is where I am to, support in her care. It's a tough situation. If you're a praying person, I take all the prayers I can get. So enough about that. That's the update. That's, since I've been in New Orleans, I've been lucky enough to fall into gigging pretty regularly, in addition to being a full-time music teacher. So my schedule is pretty full. And so now as things start to equalize a bit, I'm getting back into the flow of creating content. Because I am passionate about creating content. To that, if you want to support the creation of these free videos, you can do so by making a purchase from any one of the products below in the description box, any one of the links, the product links, Amazon links, whatever, buy my book, The Blue Collar Bassist, which is out on Amazon right now. It's only out on Kindle, but I'm working on the whole paperback thing. Also, I dropped the album in June of this year, so there's a link to that in the description box below. Anyway, let's get into this. I want to talk about Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye. This is going to be kind of two things, and bear with me while I just talk this out real quick. So, you don't always have to play exactly what's on the record. It's one of the many reasons why I don't do tab, and I don't really have time to do transcriptions. Because my desire is for you to learn music in a sort of, in the way that you learn how to speak, how we learn language. So I'm going to show you how I approach this tune, show you the ingredients of it, and show you how I end up playing it, in different live situations, on a lot of casuals and different things like that. It's one of those tunes that definitely you want to have under your fingers if you get out there in the gigging world and somebody says, "Let's play, let's get it on." And the moment you hear that guitar, like, boom, 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 you better be ready to get into it. So, without further ado, here's Let's Get It On. All right. So the recording of Let's Get It On is in the key of E flat. Please excuse the mess around me. Now this bass has no fret markings other than that custom love symbol logo. So, I'll tell you this. The band I play this with, we play it in D. But let me do it in the recording key, which is E. Now, if I just have this box, this major scale box, I've got 1, 3, 4, 5. Right? But now dig this. That's seeing the scale going ascending. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, going up that way. But what I want you to view now is the scale 1, 3, 4, 5. And this is also that tune, shucks, what is that tune? It's one of them tunes you see on weddings a lot. What is the name of that song? It's by the guy that does, I'm going to remember it as soon as you know what song I'm talking about. But there's a connection. Anyway, so. Now I want you to notice two things. First thing, the buddy I was talking to, we were talking about basses and stuff like that. I'm a jazz bass guy. I carry one bass to gigs. I think that a jazz bass or a jazz style bass is the most versatile bass. I slap a lot. Not a lot, but I do slap. So a P bass is not going to get me that. So I don't carry P basses with me because it's limiting in the other stuff that I play. So when I want to get a more P-bass-esque type of tone, what I may do is I'll go palm mute, right? Second thing I want you to notice, goes right along with the video that I put out last week about those ghost notes, is I'm thinking, the bass is the link between rhythm and harmony. So, I'm also thinking about those little ghost notes and grace notes the same way that a drummer would be thinking about them. You know what I mean? All that in-between stuff. So, you see what I'm doing with my thumb? Let me take out the nose. And that sometimes I'll do that thing. Take a look at my right hand. I'm exaggerating a little bit just so you can see what's happening in my right hand. Let me do it. Let me scoot over a little bit so you can see. So, like I said, I'm exaggerating. I'm maybe doing it a little bit more than I would normally, but so that's two things: palm mute, and also thinking percussively as well, getting those inside little grace notes and percussive notes and stuff. So now let's talk about some note choices as well. What is the name of Ed Sheeran? Ed Sheeran. What is the name of that song? I can't remember it, but it's one, man, I play so many weddings. I can't even count how many weddings I play, but shoot. It's killing me. It's on the tip of my tongue. Somebody leave that in the comments section. Let me know what that song is. So, very common piece of language right here is, so if this is 1 and that's 3 and this is 4, that's 5, If you're playing a 5-string, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See that? There's your major scale. So 1, 3, 4, 5, shift. So that's that 5, 6, 1, 6, 1. There's another bit of language right there, vocabulary rather. 1. So this is root 5. Root 5 octave. Root 5 octave. And then back to the 1. Root 5 octave root. And then 1 of the first chord. So it's 2 bits of vocabulary for you. Here's another bit of vocabulary. I'm just kind of going through my library of stuff that I usually pull out on this tune. Little trill, same 5, 6, 1 pattern. I've been really trying, baby. I'm trying to hold back this feeling for so long. And if you feel like I feel, baby, then come on. There's another bit of vocabulary. So there's 1. I went to 2. You could. That's that same. That same. That same language. Vocabulary, language, word, phrase, whatever you want to call it, but starting from the 2 now. Here's my scale. 1, 2. Right? So I don't know how many licks that was right there. How many little... I got like little words. That's how I like to think about them. You know? It's like it and how you doing, whatever. You know, you start thinking about these little nuances as words, phrases, slangs. There's another one. One and So even though you have your major scale like that, that's your textbook fingering, yeah? You're on a 5-string. There's one way of looking at it, or there's another way of looking at it. All those ways you use. I want to be careful how I say this. it's like, yeah, it's good to know those. Have you some different ways of getting through that, but understand that some of this stuff is not going to conform to the textbook fingerings, is what I'm saying. So it's like you learn a rule and then you bend the rule, or you forget the rule altogether. So there's some bits of vocabulary for Let's Get It On. And I'm thinking about this song. There's a whole lot of stuff I could. Another thing I do. That's that's something that I do a lot. So that's a. So there's the major 7 root, back to the 7, 5. I want you to notice how my finger comes over there, over. Yeah, this video is getting kind of long, so I'm going to cut it short. But like I said, if you want to support these videos, these free videos that I put on YouTube, you can do so. Pick up something from the link below. Subscribe to the channel, share the videos, leave a comment, talk to me if you have questions about bass. Ask me, and I'll answer them as best I can. I love talking about bass. I love playing the bass, and trying to get back into the groove of putting out regular content. So now that I've settled in New Orleans and things are kind of starting to level off a bit. So somebody commented on a video the other day that I looked super tired. I am super tired. So anyway, you know how I do, man. Peace. 2 fingers. I catch you in the next one. Subscribe if you haven't done it. I'm watching you. Peace.